Hello and welcome to Layout Racing League 2021 round number 5 in the GT3 class in Live for Speed. Today we're at Midtown Ring, custom configuration for the 5th round. I'm Peter Butcher. I'm joined in the commentary box by Owen Harmon for this one. Owen, it's quite a twisty track. It's been a feature of a couple of the seasons that have been in the past of Layout Racing League, and it's here again today in the GT3s.
Indeed it is, Pete. Welcome along, everybody. It should be an exciting afternoon of racing in LRL.
Yes, Layout Racing League. Excuse my mispronunciation of it earlier. We are at round 5, and let's have a look at the calendar to see where we've been and where we're going. As I mentioned, we are on the 5th round of the championship. We have been to Broker Hill, Scowans Racetrack, Port Town, Mini Monaco, and today at Midtown Ring. Only Woodland Raceway, Hong Kong Ypres, and the Lamau Ring remain this season. And taking a look at the track, we've got a pretty interesting one. It's a 3.3 kilometer, 2.1 mile circuit at Blackwood, using the back roads and some of the car parks and things. And it makes for a very interesting circuit, tight and twisty, plenty of corners, and a long old pit lane. The qualifying session, 25 minutes of it, is underway, and we will get action of that in just a few moments' time. Then we'll have a 45-minute race plus an extra lap, and that will be at 4 o'clock UTC. The cars for today, the GT3 class in Live for Speed, consists of the FXR with the 2-litre turbocharged flat 4 engine, then the XRR, which is a rear-wheel drive with a front engine 2, and the FZR, which has a 3.6-litre flat 6 mid-engine rear-wheel drive. But a lot of the drivers, most of them in fact, are electing to use the FXR or the XRR. I don't think we've got any FZRs on the track at the moment, Owen.
Yeah, just seems to be 2 out of the 3. XRR doing well, and FXR has a second row running as things stand, but maybe one driver might fancy an FZR, but time's running out.
Yeah, so on the drivers' standings, currently Antonio leading the way, although he's also currently topping the timesheets in qualifying. He leads the way, and we have 24 drivers on the standings for this round. But yeah, Antonio has managed to secure himself quite a lead in the championship. He currently has 41 points ahead of Sean Lee, the promoter of the series. Then it's Texas, Redbot, Ayub, Spiky, Gabor, Zesty, Mandula, and Twincam rounding out the top 10. Now, today's a little bit of a sad one for some of the drivers, because today we are racing in memory of CK, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. So yes, the drivers are racing with Jamaican liveries in memory of him, and also running some messages of remembrance on their number plates. CK was a popular face in the worlds of racing and cruising in LFS, Owen, and it's sad to see him gone. He did compete in a few of the rounds of Layout Racing League in the past, and here he is at one of the earlier races in the season. So yeah, a pretty sad day for everybody here. All the drivers choosing to remember him in some way. So this one's for CK. Alrighty, Owen, let's turn our attention to the track and see who is topping the timesheets in qualifying.
Yes, indeed. It's Born to Race's Antonio with a 1:22.35. That's the slight advantage over Sean Lee. They both drive XRRs. And then I hinted to the FXRs just behind there, with Texas and Redbot behind the wheel of them. And then there was a bit of a gulf in class from them onwards, but a tie for 5th actually there. Mandula and SPTV's Adam, exact same times.
Yeah, so
Adam now.
Yeah, Antonio leading the timesheets by only a small margin, actually, over Sean. And just under 5 minutes left in the session. Yeah, only 13 cars, but I think we've lost Alpha already from the session, so 12 cars currently here in participation. And as I mentioned before, most of them driving the FXR. We've got Adam here, who slides into turn one. It's a double kind of a late apex corner here. He's got a car leaving the pit lane in front of him who will yield, hopefully. But yeah, he's going to try and improve on the timesheets as well. Here's Texas, currently P3 for Master Race Car. And yeah, let's see if he can do better on this lap. I don't think he is... yeah, he has pretty quick sector 1. That looked pretty good through there. And then he heads down on this long straight, which goes out of the container yard at Blackwood and onto some of the back roads over a little bit of a jump here. Yeah, a little bit of airtime, and then down to a hard braking zone for a left-hander before they head into this section, which was inspired by the Castle left-hander at the Baku Formula 1 circuit there, and then off onto the back part of the circuit.
Yeah, just the grip of the FXR might be handy in Sector 2. Baku Castle, I know that'll be one of the more difficult corners in Formula 1 nowadays, and if you get that wrong, you're in the barrier. Oh, there's Texas a little bit loose out of that corner there.
Yeah, the roundabout section here is super tricky. It's been widened for the GT3s, I think, and some more friendly curbs added. But here we go as he runs down to the start-finish line. Will this be an improvement for Texas around the Midtown Ring? It will not. It will not. And in fact, Adam has jumped ahead of him. So Adam there, even though he's currently in the pits, he has set a better lap that time round. So he is promoted to P3. Still Antonio at the front, though, with a 122.35. Magic for Race Green is running around in P10, and I wonder if he's going to make an improvement at some point. Clouts the wall. We'll see a lot of drivers doing that. You're going to see pretty pristine cars at the start, and then as they come over the start-finish line at the end, I don't think any of the cars are going to be looking pristine around here. Super tight, super tricky, but great fun.
Yeah, Magic. At least it's not the race session with the front bodywork looking like that. But anyway, he'll carry on. No stress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Engine tests, yeah, with traffic ahead there.
Yeah, Simjintas not wanting much in the way of any traffic on his lap, but he's going to get some. He's got an FXR right in front of him that doesn't look as though it's going to yield. He's going to have to try and go for the move on track and does so, but that's going to compromise his lap. Manages to get the exit nicely done, so that's about as good as it could have been, but not always nice to come up against traffic on your hot lap, especially around a street track inspired circuit.
Very much so, but the time has just passed 1 minute 22, which means if the drivers fancy a better lap, they should already be on track by now.
Yeah, Antonio there driving in a Jamaican flag liveried XRR, of course, in memory of CK. Currently on pole position, so doing a great job carrying that flag around the track. A 122.3, can he beat it, and can anybody else beat it in the minute we've got left? He's bumped off a couple of the walls. He's coming up against a back marker, and he's only got a couple of corners left before the end, but will this back marker get in the way, I wonder? As Antonio showing us that he is pretty versatile, currently leading the way in the championship for Layout Racing League Season 3, and I reckon, Owen, this back marker might cause some trouble as he runs up to the final corner.
Yeah, this is the pressure point now. Panda has a decision to make. Do I yield and compromise my own lap, or do I let the faster car go for the sake of not getting a penalty? No, it seems like they're going to stick it in. And here we go, 122. I don't think I'll be faster now. 122.6. So
Yeah,
Antonio won't improve, and that leaves his pole position a little bit vulnerable.
Mandula then, he will manage to get a lap in as he gets a little bit of air into this section, and he's currently in P6. He'll want to improve from there in his FXR. as I mentioned, a couple of cars being used of the GT3 class, but only the FXR and XRR seeming to be popular today. As Mandula hits the wall out of the castle section and then into the section I like to call the roundabout, because the roundabout has been turned into a chicane. He has this jink of a right-hander here and into this tricky chicane section. There's someone off ahead of him. This is going to compromise his lap, perhaps. No such trouble.
Sean Lee, in fact, Pete, he was on his final hot lap and he crashed it at that roundabout chicane.
So P2 only for now for Sean. Final corner for Mandula. Heads up to start-finish. Will it be an improvement? P6. And no improvement this time. So it looks like those are the 12 drivers that will take the start. We don't believe that Alpha is in the server anymore. So we will have to wait and see. As Sean, he bails to the pit lane to bring his qualifying session to a close. So let's get the full rundown of the qualifying order before we head for a short break here, and let's see how they will line up for the start of this session. On pole position, Antonio for Born to Race ahead of Sean Lee. Adam will be alongside Texas on row 2. Then it's Redbot and Mandula for Race Green on row 3. Simjin Tas for Esport Racing in P7. Kig for Master Race Car P8. And then on row 5, it's Ayub and Magic. Panda and Drifter will line up on row 6, and Alpha, who did set a qualifying time, will not be in participation. So 12 drivers will take the start for LRL round number 5, Owen.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for some of our other drivers, like Mandula, to gain positions in the championship. And we'll see if that opportunity does indeed materialise.
You're absolutely right, Owen. And we will have to see how all that shakes out in around about 8 minutes' time. We're going to go for a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. The race is coming up at 4 o'clock UTC for 45 minutes, plus 1 lap at Midtown Ring in Live for Speed. See you on the other side. Hello and welcome back to the start of round 5 of Layout Racing League 2021 in Live for Speed, the GT3 class at Midtown Ring. Today, the drivers are racing in memory of CK, who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. A prolific face in Live for Speed in both the cruising and racing scenes, and a past participant in Layout Racing League as well. So yes, the grid of 12 drivers, I think there's a couple more joined since the end of quali, will be taking to the track in just a few moments for 45 minutes plus 1 lap. And Owen, it should be a pretty special race today.
Yeah, this is a very unique circumstance, even if CK will be sadly missed by all of us in the LFS community and indeed his family and friends. So we'll be thinking about him as we get onto the grid now. So best of luck to all the drivers, and we wish the very best in CK's honour.
Yeah, as we turn our attention to the grid, the lights are coming on, and here we go for the start. Green and Antonio pulls away at the front of the grid with Sean Lee close beside him, and it looks like Sean's already lost a place to Adam Owen.
Oh, red bot's gone off. Red bot's gone off in the background there. Adam is indeed second thanks to the superior getaway in his FXR. And now it's just a run down through the fast sector 1 before the tight hairpins and chicanes approach us. Great run in between Antonio and Adam there. Sean is just out of sight, but he's really, really close to Adam. Yeah, you can see him poking out, braking for the left-hander. Oh, it's going to be too close for Sean, or too close for Comfort, and Texas is into 3rd place.
Yeah, so Sean just was a bit too greedy there, and he's let another driver, Texas, get through. We'll get an update of that at the split time. But yes, it's Adam who's up to P2 and is hassling the back of that Jamaican-themed XRR in memory of CK. And as we ride on board again, you can see how close Adam is to the back of the car. As they head to the roundabout section, the roundabout chicane has been widened for these GT2s to make it a little bit quicker. But anyway, as Adam runs down to the final corner, we will see what the times start to look like for this track. The XRR certainly has the pace, but Antonio is doing a great job in the XRR just now.
Yeah, very impressive first lap for the race leader. Adam is probably more worried about Texas now. Texas has made up ground in this first lap. Just this probably the chance for the drivers to get a little bit of tactical nous as they can think about what they're doing. Unfortunately, in Sean Lee's case, on the first lap, he made a mistake with his braking into the tight left-hander.
Yeah, here comes CK over those bumps, absolutely rapid through this section, and then into the Baku street sections part of the lap. And it's getting close behind. Adam is really under pressure now from Texas, and Sean really would like to get back up to where he started, which was P3. Lost out because of a little bit of enthusiasm, should we say, into the heavy braking zone.
Yeah, I think his relentless driving style means he'll make a beautiful move one lap, and then the next time he might be disappointed. So hopefully, oh dear, that looked loose out of the roundabout chicane. So and Texas will run away here for the time being.
Meanwhile, further behind, Simjintas is leading a little secondary pack, Simjintas then Mandula. But there is certainly a void, isn't there, between these two packs?
Of course, yeah. We hope they can close up a little bit. There will be pit strategy in this race. They have to just get in the pits, and if necessary, they can take on repairs or tires, but otherwise they can just go in the pit box, say they're in the pits, and then drive away again.
Yeah, as we ride on board with our leader, we'll hopefully take you around a lap of the Midtown Ring. Antonio will fly over this little jump. He'll get a tiny amount of air. You can hear the engine note rise there, and then heavy braking for this middle section of the lap. It's inspired by the Baku street circuit as he heads down to this little tricky chicane here, a left and then a quick right down into a hairpin before the roundabout section. The XRR is probably the right choice to make if you want to have a consistent race four-wheel drive of the FXR can be a little bit prohibitive sometimes into some of the corners, but the rear-wheel drive nature of the XRR really lends itself to this track. Bouncing off the walls a little bit there for Antonio, but nothing too much. Meanwhile, Mandula has made his way past him, Gintas in the background, but we'll stay on board for the end of this lap. Final corner here for Antonio, out to the wall. Beautiful. This is it just. And then across, start, finish to start another lap.
Yeah, very impressive, and I do enjoy the rundown through that industrial state into the final corner. It looks very, very spectacular at these high speeds. Now we're looking at Ayoub here. Go ahead, Pete.
Sean Lee got the fastest lap on that last lap, I just wanted to say, but it looks like Mandula has been the first driver to blink. He was dropping down the order a little bit because he's made his pit stop. He only needs to make one, but there we are. He's making his way out onto the track once again in 9th place. I'm guessing some other cars are making their stops as well. No, Michael's had a shocker of a start, I think. Redbot has also pitted, but there we go.
Yeah, something occurred to Michael's car on the first lap, and he fell way behind. But now we're focused on our lead drivers from 1st to 4th. Sean Lee hoping to get back to where he was in the front row. It's going to be a long slog. Antonio is now losing time to Adam. They were very close heading into the roundabout chicane, but he's actually driven nice and quickly away, and that should preserve his lead for another time. But now look behind. It is 3rd and 4th on the march here. Sean Lee in particular looking very, very feisty again.
Yeah, he's showing a nose, but he's not quite going for it. Michael Malik started from the pit lane, Owen, so that's why he's quite a long way back. And yeah, Sean Lee with the fastest lap would really like to find a way past Texas, but in a track of his own design, Sean Lee is finding it quite difficult to make this move. A little bit ironic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's definitely ironic. He can't figure out his own strengths and weaknesses on this track. But maybe he just has now using the horsepower. But in fact, the braking from Texas.
I mean, Texas can afford a little bit of time, but he went super deep. He had to try something against Sean Lee, but that was a little bit too much. And Sean's back up to 3rd place, but yeah, he has to try and gain again on Adam, who appears to himself have lost a bunch of time to Antonio, who's opened up that gap to just over a second.
Yeah, that's crucial. It's just blink and you'll miss it action so far. Adam on the grass for the roundabout. I mean, Sean Lee can now really plot his next move in the next lap or so. It's just so tricky. There was an inside curb that Sean Lee used, but if you have a bad entry or a bad spot on the brakes, you'll be in the outside wall.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Antonio's coming around to start another lap. As we head down this massive straight, he can look in his rear mirror and breathe a little bit easy because Adam has dropped off and is under pressure again from Sean. Sean is on a move now. I think he smells blood as he runs wide.
Yeah, again, this could be an action replay of what we saw happen to Texas. Now Sean Lee just having a look. Oh, Adam. Oh, there is contact. There is a dabble of contact.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot that Sean could do. Adam got that completely wrong. Went very wide, and that's going to be good for Sean. He'll see where Adam is weak and try again next lap, or maybe even sooner. That looked close as well.
Yeah, I'd hang back a little bit here. But again, that's not Sean Lee's modus operandi. He's just going to wait and see any false moves. Oh, as a matter of fact, both make opposite false moves there. One understeered badly and the other oversteered badly.
Yeah, a little bit of an error. Sean again showing his nose on Adam, but no room there. All the while, this is going to be letting Texas claw his way back closer to these two. Texas has plenty of pace, but yeah, if Adam keeps making these little errors, he's going to get overcome by Sean pretty soon, I'd say.
Yeah, the pressure's definitely on our Scottish colleague here. But Texas is probably waiting for the moment where his delta is clear of everyone behind him so he can make his pit stop and attack. But now this is air attack time. Sean Lee on the outside of the long straight. I think he's all clear. Shimmies to the inside, ready to block.
Yeah, that's a great move. Lined it up perfectly.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah, he has hit the wall. He's going to have to go a bit defensive. Adam might try something here. Nope, he settles in behind. So it's an XRR 1-2. Adam is trying. Oh, wow. He's managed to throw it up the inside there. A bit of an aggressive move. But he is back ahead. I wonder if Sean just got that a little bit wrong. And that allows Adam back through. So spoke a little bit too soon there. Sean making difficult work for himself.
Yeah, unfortunately so. The barriers do conceal. There's a metal gate, almost like you'd see in the World Rally Championship, where you have to drive through the middle of a gate. And Adam just squeezed into the available gap and got his position back. But unfortunately now he's made that mistake on the final corner. Sean Lee merges to the outside. Lots of runoff if he needs it. But now the cut back. No, he's not going to get it this time. But the straight is the XRR's best friend. And again, I'd say, oh, that's risky. He's gone deep into the outside. There wasn't much space there. Has to hold off the accelerator for just a fraction. Uses that runoff and he's clear again.
That's a great move around the outside. He didn't have to go over the curb at all, did Sean? He rode the curb really nicely. Adam gave him plenty of room. He's going to try and get back at him here, but it's a carbon copy of last lap. Sean is in the lead at this point, with a bit more of a gap in case he makes a similar error to last time. Let's see. Turns into the castle section and no such problems this lap. That was a great move around the outside by Sean Lee.
Yeah, he knows every inch of the track now, but welcome back to the fold, Texas. You can get third place again.
Yeah, with that nostalgic Black Hole Motorsport FXR livery, the bright yellow and black FXR looming large in Adam's rear view again, because of all that fighting that they were doing. So yeah, Texas currently with the fastest lap, or as it appears on my screen. Yeah, he's looking to get back past Adam.
He might think about the move at the tricky turn 3, I believe it is. It's going to take about 30 seconds to get there.
Bit too much of a gap, I think.
Yeah, I think it's too big. Yeah, exactly, Pete.
But yeah, he's definitely got the pace. Adam's tyres have dropped off or something, because yeah, he is way far behind Sean again. And let's see if Adam's got it a bit wrong again. He's hit the wall. This is going to let Texas just swing straight around the outside. And he says, thank you very much. And Texas is back on the podium.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate for Adam. He's doing really well in the middle portion of the first 15 minutes or so. But now these laps have cost him quite heavily. And you'll just have to calm down and try again.
Yeah, let's see. So, Antonio for Born to Race, driving the Jamaican flagged XRR in memory of CK, leading the way, just ahead of Sean Lee for Air Attack Racing. Then we've got a side-by-side battle with Texas and Adam. Adam somehow found some more life in his tyres and has just driven around the outside of Texas. That one's going to sting. That was a great move.
Yeah, we can't underestimate how impressive that was. It just happened in a blink of an eye. As I previously mentioned, it's just look away and you'll miss something going on. So now it's all in Adam's hands again.
Yeah, that was a great move, and Texas hit the apex of turn 1, literally, and has dropped back even further. Simjintas is in P5 at the moment for Airsport Racing, with Ayub for Born to Race, trying to close that gap. Has come down a little bit in the last few laps. Magic there, P7. Mandula has pitted, so has Redbot. And it's Panda and Michael Malik at the back of the grid.
Yeah, so we'll carry on focusing on our lead 4 drivers. It's still Antonio. I don't think he's felt the temptation to go full blast around the track. He's held a steady lead Yeah, it's been about 3 seconds or 4 seconds over Sean. Or it's actually down to 3 exactly, yeah. So no sweat for Antonio so far. Looking now for Adam. He's clear of Texas by a small enough margin. There's the overhead shot, just to emphasize. And slowly but surely, yeah, he's getting away, but not by enough. It's only 9/10 of a second.
Yeah, I think that's going to ebb and flow for the entire race, if I'm honest. I think that's Texas has got the raw pace, and Adam is struggling somewhat on his tyres. Whether he's managed to get them back under control, I don't know. But what I do know is that Antonio is no longer having a party because Sean is on a mission. 2.6 seconds the gap now between the top two, and that is coming down as we look at it.
It's another half of a second. This is scary times for Born to Races Antonio. He really has to get moving now.
Yeah, this is important for Sean's championship as well. He has to get a win on the board at some point soon, because Antonio is currently leading the way. And as we ride on board with the Singapore driver, as he heads into the roundabout section, we will get an update on that gap. It's currently 2.5, so it's gone up again. But yeah, these guys at the front are really now pulling away. And I wonder if Antonio has just woken up to the fact that Sean is closing in.
Yeah, he must know by now. If he doesn't have anyone in his ear telling him, then he will surely notice on the timing screens, I've got to get going. And very similar lap time in the sector 3. It's definitely Sean Lee doing a steady job here. Just needs to get back into his groove. And as we look, it's Texas very close to Adam now. Something has happened in the last lap to our SBTV racer. Sim Jintask heads into the pit lane. We'll look at this for a little bit longer. Outside line is the move that Texas is going to make. Oh, they're side by side. Oh, you can't separate them even by a cut of paper. But Adam holds on.
Yeah, excellent stuff there, giving racing room. Both of them jinking off the barriers a little bit, but Adam maintaining P3 for now, as you mentioned. Sim Jintas came into the pit box and he's back out again in P9. So he came out actually behind Mandula and Redbot.
Yeah, that'll be a cause for concern. But Adam really needs... Oh no! Oh, the roundabout hit the inside barrier that protects the cars from the hump of grass. And Texas will be slightly miffed that had to happen just when he was on the back of the bumper, but he'll try again.
Overtake further back. Michael's made his way past Panda, the other XRR in this race. Falls down to P11, but yes, Texas is going to try and line up another move on Adam. Adam's already going defensive after turn 1.
Yeah, it's the tricky decision to make. Defending the inside line is the right thing to do. We don't want to do it too soon. And here we go. They're going to be side by side again. Yeah, Texas had a nose in front, but Adam had the superior racing line for defense.
Well, this is where the action's at for the final step on the podium. Sean is slowly but surely closing in on Antonio, but we're going to stick with this battle for now, I think, Owen, because I think Texas and Adam could explode at some point.
Yeah, they are very much the rivals of the moment here. Much better roundabout chicane for Adam, but in fact Texas does even better. Oh, this is not the right corner for the inside line if you're going to try and overtake. Adam proved the outside was better, but there you go. That proves me wrong. P3 for Texas.
Yeah, a great move. The previous lap, you saw as Adam tries it again, the previous lap through the roundabout, Adam hit the wall and kind of Texas had nowhere to go, so ended up running into the back that time. Even though Adam got a good chicane, Texas was able to get past. So shows you that street circuit racing in these big cars is pretty difficult. And Texas needs to keep his head down now and try and open that gap up, because Adam will go for any opportunity if there's a sniff of one.
Yeah, you can guarantee that, Pete. But this is not the opportunity that you would want to go for just yet. Yeah, I think you have to wait until the final sector to get payback on Texas.
Well, it's not a long lap, and the final sector is coming up just now. So let's see, can Texas, now he's leading the way, nail the chicane? Let's ride on board and have a look. Here he goes, through 1, through 2. That looked pretty smooth, and Adam is nowhere to be seen. And so he keeps that position for an entire lap. And he just needs to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the front, the gap is down to below 2 seconds now. So Antonio seems to be struggling, or Sean has just found another gear.
Yeah, I'd like to find out who is going above and beyond their best estimate. But Sean is absolutely clear as rain here. Ready to push for this race lead as Magic takes a pit stop. So race green are now all pitted out and ready to go to the end.
Yeah, this is a great showing from Sean because he was involved in so much drama at the beginning and ended up down in P4, and now he's battling with the leader, the gap down to 1.5 seconds, so that's quite impressive. So unless something happened to Antonio, and continues to happen to Antonio, I'd say Sean's looking pretty strong for this lead battle at the moment. He's definitely got the legs, and just needs the consistency and a few errors from Antonio, and he might have it in the bag. Anyway, as he heads into the final sector, the gap has gone up again, so these two just trading times right now.
Yeah, it's a up and down kind of battle, and the pit stop, I don't think it's on either driver's mind for the moment, unless there was a big gaggle of cars that were going to be lapped, but that's not going to happen just yet. Best of the rest, it's Ayub taking the 5th place for the moment. See the kind of lap time this is. Should be a 1:23 something. Yeah, 1:23.7. Compare that to the leaders, it's about half a second slower, but obviously they were absolutely supreme at the beginning, and it just leaves the rest of the drivers to scrap away for the remaining places.
Certainly does. The remaining places are filled by Mandula, who's stopped, and by Redbot, who stopped, by Magic, who stopped, by Simjintas, who stopped, and by Michael, who started from the pit lane. So yeah, there's a theme lower down, but Mandula currently leading the drivers who have stopped and closing in on Abe. So there could be any manner of things happening at the end of this race. It just depends how much time Adam and Texas have lost by squabbling. They seem to have sorted it out now, and yeah, Texas has pulled quite a gap over Adam, whose car is looking a little bit worse for wear at the front end.
Yeah, just hitting those outside walls when turning to the right. That's made the car look less ergonomical, I suppose, on the outside. But he's just got to keep going as best he can. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, there's a long way to go, but there is not a long way between Antonio and Sean. The gap nearly 1 second now, and as we ride on board with the rear view from Antonio's XRR, you can see a black and gold Air Attack Pixel car consuming more pixels of your monitor than usual. Here he comes.
Yeah, if you can get the full dimensions on your screen, you'd be very happy.
Yeah, he's looking super strong, 9/10 of a second last sector time. So let's see how close will he be as he heads up to start finish. A little bit of a tentative entry to the chicane for Sean. And again, just trading tenths with his main race rival, the main championship rival at this point.
Yeah, the title is definitely not there for the taking, but definitely can be damaged, as Sean Lee does put in a new fastest lap at 1:22.8 exactly. So yeah, the title can't be won here, but could certainly be handed over to the opponent with a bad mistake.
Yeah, the gap is the lowest it's been at the sector time. And with that lap, Sean and Antonio currently have 20 minutes left before the clock changes. 20 minutes before we add a lap to this race. And the gap at the lead is, well, as you can see, closer than ever. Antonio had a pretty clean start, got away very nicely. Sean had the opposite. He dropped a position and had to fight his way through traffic, but has brought the gap down to a very respectable 8/10 of a second, which is impressive given the start of the race that Sean's had.
Yeah, that's fabulous. But the importance of pole position is certainly evident here. Antonio leading the way from the beginning until now. Sean lost 2 positions and has regained them back since. Antonio a little bit wide there, and that will bring the gap down even further.
Yeah, Antonio seems to be absolutely mighty out of the roundabout, but then it makes a couple of mistakes here and there, and made a mistake again at the final corner. The gap down to 7/10. Antonio feeling the need to go a little bit defensive because of the slipstream, the massive aero that these GT3 spec XRRs give off the back of them. Sean won't be able to use any of that to his advantage down the back straight just yet. The gap is just still too big. He needs to be about 2/10 of a second closer to feel any effect of that. And into the brakes, we know Sean is extremely strong on the brakes, even though he uses mouse, so he doesn't have any analog control over the brakes on his car. But his setup is so well tuned at the moment. He's managed to catch up to Antonio, who, for all I know, might also use mouse. That's the advantage of using a sim like LFS. You can use quite a number of different controller options. Sean is using his mouse like a steering wheel at the moment.
Yeah, he obviously has the technique down. Oh no! Oh dear, he's gone loose out with the roundabout. And
yeah,
Antonio
he just needs
the initiative.
Just needs to settle down a little bit. You should know by now how strong Antonio is out of the roundabout. He doesn't need to push there. He just needs to take it easy because Antonio is making mistakes. But yeah, again, Sean just a little bit wobbly. And in the section where Antonio is strong, Sean's made a mistake. So not ideal.
Yeah, and Antonio absolutely hammers home the point with a new fastest lap. So Sean has to dig deep and try again.
Yeah, to put it into perspective, this is where Texas is currently on the road. The gap between Texas and Sean is now 10 seconds, so in only a handful of laps, Sean has found 10 seconds over Texas and Adam behind. It's quite stunning, actually. Ayub is the best of the rest, so to speak, in P5, but he's being caught by Mandula, who's already got a stop done. And yeah, when will the rest of these guys choose to head into the pit lane? The top 4, probably not for a little while, unless this back marker has anything to say about it. That's Panda in the XRR just ahead of Antonio, and it's a street circuit, so back markers can play havoc. We do have safety cars, Owen, so maybe Antonio just wants to find his way past the back marker and leave his pit stop as late as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit the wall.
He's wide.
Yeah. Antonio's hit the wall, and maybe he was too bit target fixation on the back marker. A flash of the lights, and Sean is already there. He's already all over the back of him, so that mistake has cost him. The back marker had absolutely nothing to do with it. As we ride on board with Panda, what will he do? Will he let them through easily? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes, he's lifting off now. There we go. So the 2 leaders go through. Only just. There was no room really between Sean and Panda there, but that was as close as it was. Close as it could be. But here we go. Slipstream for Sean.
He has a peak on the inside line before returning to the natural apex through the outside. But yeah, Antonio's brief opportunity is gone. It's way closer than it's been all race. There's the inside at the hairpin. Oh.
Yeah, Sean doesn't need to rush this. He should know. Like, he's got the absolute pace. He's got the pace over Antonio at this point of the race. He doesn't need to force the move. He just needs to sit behind and be patient and go for a move that he knows he can pull off. Many times I've watched Sean over the last year. He's often gone for a move in a bit of a hurry and it's backfired. So he just needs to, as he pits, so he doesn't want to follow. That's a good move.
Yeah, if he's confident, he'll emerge safely away from Texas and Adam. I think this is a great move.
Yeah, safely down below the pit lane speed limit. A very flamboyant entry to the pit lane, it has to be said. Stops in his box and immediately out. And that is Sean Lee's pit stop done. He has to come out in clean air, though, because if he doesn't, Antonio is going to have the advantage. But that looked like an absolutely perfect pit stop.
Adam pits. That is really good news for Sean.
Yeah, so Adam won't be in the way of Sean. Perfect timing there then. And Sean returns in P3 with Texas only just around the corner.
Yeah, that is a right call from Sean, I think.
Antonio, meanwhile, he's only just entering the roundabout section, so that was an extremely quick pit stop from Sean. And I wonder, will Antonio respond on this lap? We will find out. Here he is. He's coming up to the roundabout now. And he needs a perfect lap. He needs a perfect in lap and a very quick stop. Sean would have practiced that pit stop, I'm sure. It looked very well rehearsed. It was super efficient. Let's see if Antonio is as choreographed. Will he pit this time? I feel like he has to, Owen, because yes, he is. Right. He is. He's coming into the pit lane. Sean forced him to do this. Let's see as he makes his way into pit lane. That looked pretty good as well.
No!
Oh, he's got a pit lane speed limit. Yeah, that's it. It's all over. That is a pit lane speeding offence. And he's missed it again. He's panicking. He's absolutely panicked. And Sean takes over the lead. Antonio, in a hurry to get into the pit lane. Not only did he speed, he missed his pit box not once, but twice.
Yeah, there's just no sympathy. You have to get into the box, or else you're going to be punished. And the stewards may review the speeding penalty if it was definitely.
I think it was also triggered by. I think that's going to stand. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, every drive-through is reviewed to make sure that it was actually a speeding offence. But I'm pretty sure that's going to stand. Either way, he lost so much time trying to find a pit box that Sean will be so far ahead that it won't actually matter. Texas is currently leading the way with Sean just behind. There is a back marker involved as well again, but hopefully Sean can find his way. There's Antonio just flashing through in the background. That's how much time he lost in his pit stop, Owen. So even without a drive-through, that would be a pretty big gap.
Yeah, I just saw, I think Antonio's trying to slam the handbrake as well because the pit box or the pit lane speed limit signs don't appear very late, or they don't appear until quite late. So here he goes for his drive-through, and Sean Lee home and dry as long as he keeps it out of the wall.
Yeah, Antonio did not wait at all for the stewards to review that drive-through, so maybe he was told that, the drive-through stands. But anyway, he served it on the first possible moment, and that means that Mandula is going to do him around the outside. So that's going to be a good fight as Abe also pits. Antonio there coming out of the pit lane in P number 3. 4.
Texas used a chat function when he wanted a blue flag notification for one of the other drivers, and the stewards say that's a penalty for chat. And that's going to cost Texas just as severely.
Oh, so that's an advantage to Adam then. He could have possibly have finished second. I don't know. I mean, yes, Antonio's had to do a full drive-through. It would be close, I think. But anyway, Sean is on his way to victory as long as he can keep out of the walls. And in 11 minutes and 40 seconds, we are going to have one lap added to this race. Sean Lee will try and bring this home. So let's see. Texas leads, but he will have a penalty to serve. He has not yet pitted. Sean currently in net P1 with Mandula somehow surviving up into P2. He has pitted. Antonio has pitted and has done a drive-through as well, and will be trying to get back past onto the podium.
There's even more drama as Sean Lee had a pit exit blend line violation.
Oh, okay.
It's a penalty for 3 of our 4 leaders.
Yeah, I thought he was quite wide over the line at the exit. He was kind of running along the line, so the stewards must have been paying even more attention than I was, and he must have dropped a wheel over it. So Sean will have to go down the pit lane for a drive-through as well. This is a disaster for Sean, but he's on such pace that I reckon he might still come out ahead of Antonio, but that would mean that Mandula would be in net P1. So this is really come alive, this race. Let's see, when will Sean serve that drive-through? I'm guessing it's going to be this lap. He has to. He's on pace and he's coming up against backmarker. And in fact, that's Texas. It's not a backmarker. It's Texas. So Texas is on for an absolutely brilliant race here.
Yeah, so Texas will take his penalty for chat. Sean does not. He wants to get more of a delta time. 10 minutes to go now. This is an absolutely riveting conclusion. It's all down to mistakes with the pit lane and other infringements. So what on earth's going to happen now?
Yeah, I don't know, but it does look like Antonio is struggling to catch up to the back of Mandula. So will it be Mandula who will take the victory? Well, we're going to find out very soon. The clock's just ticked under 10 minutes. Sean has to serve a drive-through within 3 laps. So let's see, will he do it now, or will he leave it as late as possible while he's on this this pace? I reckon the gap is enough that if he was going to do it, he'd come out safely ahead of Antonio. But where will Mandula and Texas be? Texas rejoined after his drive-through in P2. So is Texas going to win this? All in the air.
It's just, well, given the amazing standards we had in the first half of the race, it's kind of a shame we need to capitalize on the mistakes of drivers and getting penalized. So that's not how I would have wished the race to go, but we've got it, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, Sean's decided now is the time he's going to serve his pit lane speed drive-through. I thought he would leave it a bit longer, if I'm honest, because he was on such good pace. And this is the fight for P1 then. Texas comes across start-finish, and Sean is only just out of the pit lane. It's going to be side by side between these two on pit exit. And don't go wide again, Sean.
Oh, he's on the line.
Super close, on the line. Is that going to stand with the stewards? He did exactly the same thing almost as he did before. And Texas has done him.
But for how
Sean's
long?
gone over.
Oh my gosh. Sean on 2 wheels. He probably should have known there was a little hump waiting to unsettle his car, but there you have it. Now Texas is our net race leader.
That is not what I expected to happen, but anyway, we never know what's going to happen in Layout Racing League. Sean, well, that pit lane exit was close again, Owen. I wonder if the stewards are going to look at it again. They haven't got too long to do it, only 7 minutes before we had a lap. But yes, Texas is in the lead and looking strong, it has to be said. He's opened up the gap.
Yeah, I think he's using the anger. He's channeling it to good effect here. He knows it was his own mistake, but he's getting on with the job now. And he should have about 1.2 second lead, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you've got to think like what could have been for Adam here, because Adam was absolutely on it, and then battling with Sean Lee, he just cooked his tyres, and then battling again with Texas has cooked his tyres, and now he's under threat from Redbot, so Adam could drop out of the top 5 at this rate.
Yeah, that's a worrying time for Adam. Redbot could definitely gain on him, but he needs a bit more time. Sean really wants to use the outside as best he can. He knows the horsepower matters in this first sector, otherwise the FXR will get away from him.
Yeah, Texas bouncing off the wall a little bit. The gap has closed up again. The XLR is absolutely mighty down that long straight, and yeah, he's used it to good effect. But Texas is reliable. He's a safe pair of hands. Well, other than when he's typing on his keyboard. Imagine if he hadn't have hadn't have done that, he'd have been miles out in the lead with a pretty sure victory at this point. But anyway, such as it happens, Sean is looming large in his rearview mirror, and Texas only has 6 minutes to keep it in the lead. But will it happen? Sean's had a great exit there.
Fantastic exit. Oh, he's done it again. He's appealing, but Sean has been penalised again.
Yeah, it looked wide, didn't it? It looked like he was on the line. He's typed in chat as well. The stewards aren't going to like that. You could see that Sean visibly got off the gas. He's using mouse, so in live for speed, he has to type without any power on. So he's lost time, and the stewards are sure. The stewards are certain he's exceeded pit exit again. This is not what I expected from Sean. You know, you get a penalty for going on over the line, and the rulebook said you can't go on the line. So the rules are the rules.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Unfortunately, Mandula and Antonio will be battling for the runners-up spot, barring any contact between them or anything like that. But Texas could probably allow Sean just to let him by and just say thank you and good luck.
Well, Sean Lee's going to have to go down the pit lane again, and surely he's going to come out behind Mandula and Antonio. I think it's going to be game, set, and match there, but let's see. He has to do it within 3 laps. He's not able to get past Texas here, and Texas is on his way to victory in Layout Racing League. It's not over yet. He's still got 4 minutes plus a lap, and he's gone in the pits. I wonder what's happened there. Why is Texas coming to pit? Have we missed something from race control? That is bizarre.
I don't think so. This is natural pit. He's using
he hasn't pitted yet. Texas didn't pit yet, so of course he has to come in for his normal stop, and that means that Mandula now leads the race. So Texas already served a drive-through for chat, but of course he was in the lead because he hadn't served his penalty, served his mandatory pit stop, and that means he does come out behind Adam and Redbot. So Texas, after leading for a chunk of the race, because it was so late in the race, we didn't realise he hadn't served his mandatory pit stop yet. That promotes Mandula to the lead of the race. So what a race this has been.
Yeah, you did call it earlier, Pete. Mandula was in contention for the lead due to these penalties and the fall off of Adam's tyres, and it's coming to fruition with 3 minutes 26 seconds to go. But it is Antonio in the spotlight here. He could gain back what he lost.
He could, but also Sean could. You remember the absolute pace that Sean had at the beginning when he was battling with Antonio? He's not too far behind. It's only 3 seconds between Sean and Antonio, and we've still got time left in this race. Absolute drama here, and that's not normally what we say from races with just over 10 cars in it. So thankfully we've had a pretty awesome battle up at the front, and currently it's Race Green's Mandula, Dan Balla leading the way for Race Green.
Yeah, this is the second to last lap. If 2 minutes 40 divided by 1 minute 23 is 2 or thereabouts, so there you go. Antonio really has to go for it now.
Yeah, if he wants to win, if he wants to be on the top step of the podium and ensure that he opens up his lead in the championship by as much as possible, he has to navigate his way around a very skilled and very secure pair of hands of Mandula, who I don't think is going to give up that place particularly easily. It's been this way for a long time. Mandula has been leading this race, been leading Antonio for quite a while, and the gap just hasn't come down that much, while Antonio's been out after his penalty. So let's see, can Mandula hold on? There must have been, I don't know, 4 different leaders of this race at this point, and Mandula's this is how the cards have fallen. He is driving the perfect race for his own ability. So good stuff. Sean's running out of laps. The gap hasn't come down at all really this lap. 2.9 seconds then between him and Antonio. And with 1 minute 30 on the lap, it looks like we're going to get 2 more laps in this race.
Yeah, so the drivers do go quickly enough to add an extra lap to the classification. This is lap 32 for our race leader, and it's just the enormous opportunity for Mandula. I earmarked him as a driver who needed to benefit from the reduction in the entries, and he might be going all the way. If he can just hang on in here, this should be the good sector for his FXR compared to the XRR.
Yeah, I mean, it was so spread out, and thanks to all these penalties, the top 4 within 4 seconds, pretty much 5 seconds. So you're going to see them all drive through your shot just now. There goes Mandula around the hairpin. There's Antonio. Sean goes into the hairpin. There's Adam, and then Redbot and Texas right behind. So it's closed right up at the end, thanks to all of the penalties that have been handed out. But it's Mandula. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's Mandula who, as the clock ticks down, 20 seconds to go. They might make it over start finish again. It's going to be close. Yeah, they might do it. 15 seconds to get around to the start finish. The official clock is slightly behind our timing here, but yeah, Mandula's going to make it across the line and make it another lap plus a lap. So 2 to go. It was like 2 seconds, Owen, as they went across the line.
That's joy for Antonio, I'd say. Nothing to lose. Sean Lee, fastest lap on that low fuel, 122.13. By no means can we rule out the Singaporean after all we've had to say about him today. 2 penalties and he could still win.
Yeah, absolutely awesome stuff. Now, this is the time that Mandula needs to focus. He has to finish this lap and the next because of the fact that he crossed the line with like 1 second to go in the race, and that means he's hit the wall, and this is Antonio's prime opportunity now. He won't get any more chances than this. He can't spend any more time behind Mandula because Sean is looming large. Sean is on a mission. He wants to get this place back. Mandula's going to have to do a lot of work to keep him behind.
And I can't believe it. Redbot's timed out with the finish in sight. So Race Green lose one of their representatives, but they're all cheering for Mandula here.
Yeah, Mandula would be a very popular winner, you'd have to say. And yeah, as he comes around the final corner, it will be 1 lap to go, and the gap is half a second between the top 2. And Antonio's hit the wall. That's not what he needs. Sean is going to have a run here, probably. Sean is back in this race. Do not rule Sean Lee out of anything. And he's almost thinking about moving to turn 1. He's that close. He does set another fastest lap, a 1:21.99, the fastest lap we've seen all afternoon, as far as I'm aware. And here we go. The battle for the lead is pretty much over, unless Mandula messes something up. But the battle for P2 is on, and these are the championship leaders. Antonio leads the championship ahead of Sean Lee. And wouldn't Sean love to get that place back?
Yeah, this would count as a success in his mind. I know it's not the precious victory, but the lap of the gods, if he can gain 1 position, it'll be great. If he can gain them both, it would be one of the fantastic moments of brilliance in the history of Live for Speed competition. But now Mandula just needs to box Antonio in. That's all he really needs to do for the final 5 or so corners. Here comes the roundabout. Pressure. This is the moment, I think, if he can hang on. Sean wide.
Yeah, it's all over for Sean. I think he's thrown it away, but who cares? Mandula wins if he can get around this final corner in one piece, and it will be a popular win. I would say, yeah, he's done it. Mandula has come across the line to win Layout Racing League Round 5. He's very happy about that. He's flashed in the headlights. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Antonio ruined his own race with that pit stop. Absolutely botched it. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And oh dear, Sean Lee, 2 pit lane exit blend line violations. He was furious in the chat about that, and yeah, has to settle for P3. But what a race with such a tiny grid. Did you expect a race like that, Owen?
Not at all. I know the 4 drivers at the top did a magnificent job battling away with each other, but then the loss of concentration or the build-up of pressure got to Sean, it got to Antonio, and it got to Texas. There was Mandula, who pitted early and drove a faultless race to the end and takes a victory, and hip hip hooray, I'm sure, will be in his mind.
Yeah, he pitted earlier than anybody else and just kept his nose out of trouble and drove some very quick laps. This is not this is Antonio we're talking about. He's leading the championship, supremely skilled XRR driver. The XRR on paper should have been quicker here, you'd say. And he just couldn't manage it. He couldn't get past Mandula in the dying stages. So a very, very nice drive from Race Green's Mandula to take victory in round 5 of LRL 2021. And a super race. That's the highlight of the season for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I know my first visit to LRL, that was an exciting race with the safety cars in abundance. But my goodness, I don't think anybody, not even Mandula, would have expected this victory today.
No, and as they pull up to the start-finish line with the huge CK letters there, of course, the drivers racing in memory of CK, who passed away a few weeks ago. Sorry, one of the competitors in LRL in this season and previous seasons, and yeah, a big face in the Live for Speed community. So will be missed by many, I'm sure. And there we are then, Owen. Mandula lines up in the middle with Antonio to his left, and Sean Lee, a disgruntled Sean Lee, on the right-hand side. But yeah, our podium for round 5. What a race!
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations in the chat now for our race winner and everybody else who participated. Sean is still adamant he was inside, but I think he was on the line, as you spotted, Pete.
Definitely on the line, 100% on the line twice, if not over it the first time. But there we are. Yes, we'll hang around for a few moments to see if we can get an interview with any of our drivers. I'm not sure we'll get one from Mandula. That would be something. But I reckon we may have one from Sean if he's not already thrown his headset out of the window. I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll hang around, of course. And while we do that, let's get full classification of the finishing order here, Owen, for LRL Season 5. Round 5.
Yeah, there they are. Mandula wins by just 0.6 of a second. Sean Lee, maybe another 2 laps, then he would have been able to overtake for the last 2 positions to win, but it wasn't to be. SPTV's Adam was probably disappointed with himself, but 4th place isn't a bad finish at all. Ahead of Texas there, would have liked to see him, but he made a mistake with pressing a chat button. 6th place goes to Ayub. No faults for his drive, but that was as best he could do. Maciek in 7th place, benefiting from Redbot disconnecting there. Simjintas, Michael, and Panda are the finishers, and Redbot, as I said, disconnected with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, a bit of a shame that for Redbot. He was doing pretty well. He managed to catch up to the back of Adam, and he finished 4th. So we've been told to hold for Sean Lee, who is currently trying to get himself into the commentary box. And why not? I think we should have a word with him. Try and gauge his mood before he joins, I think, Owen. He's not going to be happy, is he? Let's find out. Sean, tell us, mate, what happened?
It was a good start to the so it wasn't a good start to the race. I overcooked it into the braking zone for the infield. I'm not quite sure what happened with the pick exit. I mean, I was looking at the line on the way out. Perhaps I clicked it at the end, but it gave a brilliant race. And first, I think was it first career victory for Mandula. So I think it's happy Dula time. So congrats to him. Congrats to him, and of course, congrats to Antonio. He was really quick as well.
Yeah, but not without his own set of troubles. Of course, he also got a penalty. But yeah, you got 2 penalties, which I'm sure you're not very happy about. But yeah, you were on the pit lane exit line twice, from what we could see, and that, unfortunately, in your own rule book, is a penalty, Sean. So P3 in the end. And again, a few points slipping away from you with only 3 rounds to go in the championship. Do you think you can get Antonio back before the end?
The next few races are, I guess, not as chaotic as this, because this is a really tight combo. And yeah, I mean, although we had the pace today, and yeah, a 1:21.9, that was I have no idea how I set that time, because the gap time should only be in the 22s, but you know. So we had the pace today. We couldn't show it because of the penalties, which were totally my fault. But I think it's possible we can get Antonio. Just have to nail the next two tracks. So it's, I think, the Lamar or Hong Kong. I'm not quite sure as well.
I'd have to look it up. I think the Lamau is at the end of the season, but the next round 6, coming up in 2 weeks' time, is at Woodland Raceway in the TBOs.
Yeah, so TBO, it's a good car to battling, and it's a slightly wider track. So hopefully we'll have a bit more battling, and hopefully we'll be there at the top again.
Hopefully, and I believe you have a few words you want to say regarding the reason that some of the drivers were driving here today.
Yes, so sadly we lost CK, better known as Cyan Kill. He was a good figure in both the cruise community, Need for Speed, as well as in the racing community. He had a long, I guess, racing career here to go, but he sadly was taken away from us way too soon, about last week. So that was a huge loss for all of us, and here as well, not just in for all the leagues, but also for my team. So he applied for the team, but he couldn't see it out. So he's being awarded the position in honor of him passing, but hopefully he's up there and he has blessed this race, and hopefully he enjoyed this one as well.
Yeah, it was a great race, and thanks for those words, Sean. So, looking forward to the next couple of rounds of the championship, obviously to seal it off for another season. How do you feel this season's gone for yourself, and are you looking forward to the last 3?
Yeah, I mean, for me, participating was not like it was not my first thought, because I didn't have the time. So like, I mean, it's quite late now actually. Actually, no, it's not quite late. It's close to there. It's about 1 a.m. But yeah, I found the time, and why not? I mean, I've been adjudicating for this race for quite a while. Unite, I think, is busy doing his own things, and yeah, I just took the chance to participate. And I know I'm not on the pace for every track. The Fox was definitely not one, but it's quite interesting to take part. And of course, if anybody's watching who's not yet taken part in one, at least should have a go.
Yeah, the LRL is great fun, and as we've proven tonight, it's a little bit unpredictable. So if you like unpredictable racing, come and join Sean and the gang and drive in LRL. We've got 3 more rounds this season, and we'll flash those up on screen for you now. Next, in a couple of weeks, we have the TBOs at Woodland Raceway on July 10th. Then it's the GTIs at Hong Kong E-Prix Circuit on July 24th, and the FBM at the Lamau Ring to round the season off in August. So thanks, Sean, for joining us in the commentary box. Thank you, Owen, for joining me in comms once again. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We've been Sim Broadcasts. I've been Peter Butcher. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.